It's 11:42 p.m. The house is silent, but your mind is a riot. You've been staring at this glowing rectangle for 45 minutes, suspended in a state that isn't quite waking, but certainly isn't resting. You aren't reading the articles, you aren't learning the skills, you aren't even being entertained by the videos. You are simply moving your thumb. It's a mechanical, rhythmic flick, a digital rosary of the modern age. You feel a heavy, dull ache radiating from behind your eyes, a tension that feels like a physical clamp tightened around your skull. Your shoulders are pulled up toward your ears, a defensive posture you didn't consciously choose, like a shield against a phantom strike. You tell yourself this is unwinding. You tell yourself that after 10 hours of demands, you deserve this quiet consumption. But if you're honest with the reflection in the black glass, you don't feel relaxed. You feel hollow. You feel like a vessel that has been scraped clean from the inside. You eventually click the screen off, but the ghost of the blue light lingers on your retinas. You wake up the next morning, and before your feet even touch the cold floor, the weight is there again. It's an exhaustion that sleep, no matter how many hours, doesn't seem to touch. You drink the coffee, you answer the urgent emails, you do the work, but you feel like a ghost inhabiting your own life. You are physically present, but cognitively you are operating on a 3-second delay. We call this being tired. We blame our high-stress jobs, our lack of vitamin D, or the fact that we haven't hit the gym in 3 weeks. But what if I told you that your body isn't actually tired? What if your muscles are perfectly fine, but your soul is simply drowning in noise? What if you aren't exhausted? What if you're just overstimulated? I'm Jay, and this is Jay Within. To understand why we feel this phantom exhaustion, we have to look under the hood. We have to talk about the biology of the glitch. Our brains were designed for a world that no longer exists, a world of slow rhythms and vast empty spaces. For 99% of human history, a surge of information meant something vital, a rustle in the tall grass that could be a predator, or a subtle change in the wind that signaled rain. Our ancestors lived in deserts of boredom, long stretches of time where the brain had nothing to do but recalibrate, daydream, and simply be. But we have traded those deserts for a neon-lit jungle. We live in a dopamine economy. Every scroll, every red notification bubble, every 15-second clip of a life more interesting than yours is a micro-hit of dopamine. In its natural state, dopamine is the chemical of motivation. It isn't the chemical of pleasure, it's the chemical of anticipation. It tells the brain, something interesting is happening. Pay attention. Something might happen next. But in the digital age, we have weaponized this mechanism. Your prefrontal cortex, the seat of your focus, your complex decision-making, and your emotional regulation, is like a high-performance engine. It was built for sprints, a hunt, a fight, a moment of deep creation. It was not built for a 24-hour marathon at 9,000 RPMs. When you check your phone 150 times a day, you aren't just staying informed. You are forcing your brain to perform what neuroscientists call the cognitive switching penalty. Every time you move from a stressful work email to a political headline that triggers anger, then to a meme that triggers a quick laugh, then back to a text message from a friend, your brain burns a massive amount of glucose to reset the context. By 3 in the afternoon, you haven't run a single mile, but your brain has processed more raw data than a medieval villager did in an entire year. This constant switching keeps you in a state of high beta brainwaves, a frequency associated with low-level chronic panic. Your amygdala, the primitive alarm system of the brain, begins to believe the world is perpetually on fire because it never receives the signal of silence required to recalibrate. The result isn't sleepy tired, it is processing tired. Your hardware is fine. It's your software that's crashing under the weight of too many open tabs in the background of your consciousness. I spent years wandering through this fog, convinced that I was simply failing at the basic mechanics of being an adult. I thought I was lazy because I couldn't focus on a single chapter of a book without my hand instinctively reaching for my pocket. I felt a deep, secret shame that I couldn't be present, even when I was with the people I loved most. I remember a specific moment last autumn that changed everything. I was sitting in a park during the peak of the season. The trees were vibrant, exploding in shades of gold, burnt orange, and a red so deep it looked like velvet. It was, by every objective measure, a masterpiece of nature. And yet, as I sat there, I felt nothing. I felt a terrifying numbness. My first instinct wasn't to breathe in the crisp air, it was to pull out my phone and take a picture of the trees. In that moment, I wasn't capturing a memory to keep, I was verifying my existence. I needed to post a photo to prove to an invisible digital audience that I was living. I realized then that I wasn't actually experiencing the park. I was managing the data of the park. My brain had been so rewired to crave the jagged, high-contrast, hyper-saturated hits of the internet that the physical world felt boring. It felt slow. It felt low resolution. I was like a person trying to taste the delicate sweetness of a strawberry after eating a spoonful of raw sugar. The sugar had ruined my palate. The digital noise had ruined my capacity for quiet joy. We are losing our ability to feel the subtle because we are constantly screaming at our nervous systems with loud synthetic signals. We are terrified of a quiet moment because in the silence, the static finally clears, and we might actually have to feel how profoundly burnt out we really are. We use the noise as a mask for our exhaustion, never realizing that the noise itself is the primary cause of the weight we carry. So, how do we fix a brain that has been overstimulated for a decade? The answer isn't a productivity hack. It isn't a new app that tracks your screen time. And it certainly isn't a 3-day digital detox that you'll abandon the moment Monday morning hits your inbox. The answer is a radical, almost violent act of reclamation. It is about learning the forgotten art of being bored again. We have to accept that our attention is our only truly sacred resource. It is the only thing we actually own in this life. And yet, we give it away for free to trillion-dollar companies that sell it to the highest bidder. To heal, we have to realize that the phantom vibration in our pocket is a withdrawal symptom. It is the sound of a brain begging for the sugar it has become addicted to. If you sit with that discomfort, that itch to check, to scroll, to distract, something strange begins to happen. The fog starts to thin. You begin to notice things again. The hum of the refrigerator becomes a texture in the room. The way the afternoon light hits the floorboards becomes a visual poem. These things aren't boring, they are real. And they are the only things that can actually cool down the prefrontal engine that is currently overheating in your skull. The solution isn't to do more, it is to process less. Tomorrow morning, I want you to try something that will feel like a sacrifice. Don't look at your phone for the first 20 minutes of your day. Let your brain exist in what I call the analog gap, that sacred space between sleep and the demands of reality. Look at the wall. Listen to the world wake up. Let your brain scream for a distraction. Let it itch. That discomfort is the sound of your neural pathways healing. The world will tell you that you're falling behind. It will tell you that you're missing out. It will whisper that you need to be always on, just to survive the waves of modern life. But the truth is, you don't need another vacation. You need a low-information diet. You need to let the silence back in, not as a punishment, but as a sanctuary. Because on the other side of that overstimulation is the version of you that actually knows how to feel again. That version of you is still there, waiting for you to put down the phone and just listen. If this felt like a conversation you needed to have, subscribe. Let's keep walking through the mist together. See you within.